Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I was about to say welcome to the podcast. It's not a podcast, though. Um, which makes me think that maybe I should do a podcast really soon. I actually do miss doing my podcast. But welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to Riddle Me Mirror. Today, wait a minute. My spirit guide really just. That was the chair. That was the chair. That was the chair. It wasn't me. Okay, I'm back. So today is going to be a special kind of reading. Um, I don't know if this is more of this I probably would call this a collective message, and I'm sort of excited about what may come up during the reading portion of it if I do the reading. I'm excited about what comes up in this message, in this channel message. Um, I want to call in my spirit guides for the highest order, divine protection. Okay, Michael, divine protection. Interesting, colors and transmitted, which colors and surroundings of the highest light. Um, but yeah, I'm excited what may come through during this channel and message. This is one that is very personal to me, and you'll know why once we get into the message. And I was just reminded, I was like, I know I got to go live on YouTube, but I'm not sure what the topic is going to be or how am I going to get it? How am I going to get it? And every time I wonder that, or maybe you don't know, spirit always come through with how they want things to go. So this live is called Love the Way You Lie. So I'll be reading the lyrics from that song by Rihanna. There's one with Eminem too, but this particular one is Love the Way You Lie Part 2 with Rihanna in it. And I've always loved this song. This is an emotional song by itself on its own, an intense song. And every time I hear it, I haven't listened to it in a while, but I was recently I was doing some work and the song popped up in my head. And I was like, let me listen to this song because I hadn't heard it. And I started just when I heard the song, it just struck that same or that intense emotion within me again. And what was different about it this time than before is that my interpretation of it is different, of course, because of the experiences that I've experienced prior to now were different. I'm much more mature now, have a lot more experience now. Not to say that I didn't before, but it's just me in a different frame now. And so because the song gets maybe came out in like, let me see when this song came out. If it had like the year, I know it was in her red hair era. Let me see. Dang, they ain't even got a year on here, man. They ain't got a year on here. But it was during the LIGHTWYL era. I do know that part. So this okay. So and if you're wondering, I'm listening to Sacral Chakra, um, the Sacral Chakra music right now. Um, and you'll know why in a second. But hopefully that's not too loud. So let's get into it. So it says, verse 1, on the first page of our story, the future seems so bright. Then this thing turned out so evil. I don't know why I'm still surprised. Even angels have their wicked schemes, and you take that to new extremes. But you'll always be my hero, even though you've lost your mind. And then the chorus goes, just gonna stand there and watch me burn. Well, it's all right. Well, that's all right because I like the way it hurts. Just gonna stand there and hear me cry. Well, that's all right because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. Okay. So I had this dream about maybe a couple of weeks ago, and there were three, it looked like, I think it was like two or three Caucasian spirits. I say that because they didn't have no legs. And what I know is that they sprinkled something that was on me, and it smoke came out. Like they had like these potions and tinctures or something. And then there was me, and I looked at, then there was me, I was looking at them, and they said they brought up they brought up an Orisha and said something about this particular Orisha that wanted to make me question something about this Orisha, or this legion of Orishas. And then there was me, I went when I went into the house, it was me coming out of the closet, or it looked like a closet, and me yelling at me, and I was telling it to stop what it was doing, and it was something connected to something sexual, because these beings, they didn't have on any clothes. And I remember whatever it was, I just remember it being about something sexual. I don't remember what made me know that, but I knew it had to do with something sexual. And so as I screamed at me or said something to me or stood up to me, I felt like I was standing up to myself. The mirror of me, because I shook it too, like it looked like me, then it looked like a sibling of mine, and then I shook it, and then it kind of ran away. It ran back in a closet or something, like it ran. And these beings was out on the porch, and they was sprinkling something on. this thing that I think ran out of me or ran away, and then smoke came out of this person. It was like they fizzled. And like ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It felt like that. Now, what I know is that there are okay, so let me before I even go there, what I'll say is that there has been things that have been happening in the spiritual world that has to do with sexual demons that have been, I don't want to say that have been attached to certain people. And some people who have these attachments have been fighting for their own voice. But each time when I say fighting for their own voice, they've been fighting to stand up to what they feel is really right, because there's something about their sexual proclivities or their sexual nature or their sexual experiences that they're having that is not, it does not bring them ease, or bring, it may not bring you ease. I know for me it didn't bring me ease. And so you may find yourself asking, like, should I stop this, or um should I put it on pause for a minute? And then each time you try to do it, you'll wind up finding yourself in a position where things are not going right in your life, and you start to get mad or feel sorry about yourself, and then you wind up falling back into the same routine and repeating it over again. And then after you do it, feeling bad about yourself, or telling yourself something so you won't feel bad about yourself, to excuse yourself for actions that, if you were in your right mind, you would have not done, or you would have done things differently. And so some of you may be finding out that some of the things that you are taking part in or participating in when it comes to sexual expression, it may be out of routine and pattern, and it may not match up with your emotions and how you feel now. And you may find yourself having to coddle yourself after you do it, because you feel like you have let yourself down in some sort of way. And so, if this applies to you in any sort of way, then this message is for you. That dream that I had was showing me how a lot of us have been condemning ourselves based on our sexual expression. And we're ready to step outside of that box. And there's uncertainty with the direction that we're going, but we know that we're ready to do something different, but maybe afraid because the different is unknown to us. With that song, how the song ties into it, Love the Way You Lie. This talks about how you tell yourself lies to continue on with the action that you know isn't good for you. But check this out though. The lie that you're telling yourself is not necessarily you, it's an altar. It's a personality created. This personality has been created through media. This personality has been created through trauma. This personality has been created through certain symbolism that has been directly going from media and certain things that you see on a regular basis right into your subconscious mind. So a part of you is lying, but just lying there, allowing this symbolism to have you in a trance, which is sort of manipulative, and it's almost like this version of you is manipulating yourself into doing something that you don't want to do. And the conclusion of it is you feeling bad, and you feeling bad about it is feeding a particular energy, a particular lower vibrational entity that has been sent and has been working on you the whole time. It's a lower vibrational entity that has been preying on you the whole time. So the trauma that you've experienced, either you're working through the trauma, you're working on it, you're doing your shadow work, or it's something that you've put on a back burner. And it has been clouding your space and causing confusion within you. So you've been going back and forth with it, and there's been a fork in the road. This fork in the road has not only been affecting you as far as uh, romantic interest, but it's been affecting you in career. It's been affecting you as far as friends. It's been affecting you because you don't trust yourself to make the right decisions. And you've been blaming yourself for it. And you haven't been giving yourself grace. And because you think, because in that pattern of being and how you do yourself, how you talk to your own self, how you treat yourself based on not doing what you feel like you should have done, and maybe making a mistake or making a repetitive mistake, you condemning your own self, that's been passed down through previous lifetimes and how you treating yourself. So you condemn yourself and you isolate yourself because maybe that's the way your parents did you, and that's the way their parents did them, and so on and so forth. You think that hurting yourself and talking to yourself bad, or lying to yourself about what you just did and the things that you committed, and telling yourself that it's okay, it's the best way you know to deal with it. But that is the opening for these low vibrational entities to commit their spiritual crimes. Because these are spiritual crimes being committed against you. And so, love the way you lie is pretty much your true soul, which knows better, the most divine part of you, telling yourself, your alter self, or your that alter, that personality that's created, that's pretending to be your soul, basically saying, "Hey, I see you. Hello." It's basically saying it's tough down there, ain't it? It's tough being a slave to that lower part of yourself. It's tough being in denial. And no matter what you do, how much you try to achieve in other parts of your life, you always come back to that because it's just that one thing that one thing that you've been working on that has been keeping you low, but at the same time, it's been trying to shake you and wake you up and say, this is what I want you to look at. I want you to face me. And I want you to dig deeper as to why you're doing this, or dig deeper as to going within to understand what this thing really is that you are committing, or look at this thing and just be honest about what it is, and not say, oh, you know what, I can stop if I want to, you know what I'm saying, and not stop, or stop for a little bit, then do it again. But to really be able to say, you know what, this thing has become an addiction. This has become an addiction, and actually seek help from it. Seek help from someone else outside of you for help, or no, that's not what I want to say. Seek the Most High for assistance, and also ask the Most High to send you maybe a therapist or a specialist or a professional that can assist you with it. Because there is help out there. There are people who have tools to assist you with it. But first, you have to recognize the hold that it has had on you. So there's, if you're watching this and it applies to you, it is time to take a serious look into why you are doing some of the things you're doing. And maybe this will be beyond sex. Maybe this will be beyond some sort of sex entity. Maybe this is something else that you have an addiction to that you feel like has become unhealthy, or you feel like you have sort of lost control of, and it has taken on is something bigger than you. It's time to seek help for that. And it's time to be honest with yourself about that, because it is time to essentially put a hard stop to it, because it's been ruining your perception. It's been ruining relationships. It's been sabotaging your life in many different ways. And it's bigger than what you think it is. Especially if you call yourself a light worker. It has become a wound that lower vibrational energies have been working on towards you for a while, and your security has been breached. Some of you guys may have heard that in like a vision. I'm hearing some of you a clear audience, and you may know that there's monitoring spirits of things that have been trying to come at you, and they may have finally found a way in. And now it's time for you to do the proper healing to vindicate yourself, because right now justice is being called in. And when justice is being called in, it's not necessarily the hammer or the thing, the just thing coming down and everything that's happened to you, everyone has to pay for off with their heads. It's not necessarily that. It's it's time. That means that I can't even think of the hammer thing right now. What the it's not that I can't think of, it's just that it's not a word that I use on a daily. So me using it now, just, it may sound weird. But a lot of you have been told to shut up spiritually. So it's time to open up your throat chakra too, and speak your truth, and to help others to heal and speak their truth and walk in their truth. And that's the reason why I'm telling y'all this, because this is something that I have dealt with. And that I am working through on my own. When I say working through, I've had to stand in my truth and say, and this could be pornography too, by the way. Um, Anything that you feel like that has a control over you that has to do with your sexual organs and your sexual desires. Um, and this goes deep because what I have found is that the more I try to stop, the more that symbolism pops up on my feed about sexual content. Like even if I'm not even looking for it, it'll pop up, and that has something to do with uh spirituality on a whole nother level that we'll talk about some other time, that is influencing you to continue going down another path or continue going backwards when you know that you are set in motion to go down a different path. That's how you know that you're on the right track, when you have every other thing that seems like it's working against you or trying to pull you back into certain modes of being, right? So you won't go forward. Because it's about what those lower vibrational things or entities, when they house other people to come against you, or house artificial intelligence computers and laptops and stuff to come against you. What that's doing is trying to pull you back, but what it's doing is it's trying to insert itself, trying to insert doubt into your mind so you can create a reality that's based on doubt. It's trying to get into your subconscious mind to where you will manifest that negativity that they are trying to implement into your psyche. So you got to protect your mind, you got to protect your grace, and you got to invoke protection each and every day, each and every second of the day, especially for light workers. You have to cleanse on a daily basis. Cleanse, 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 cleanse. Because that thing is trying to do everything that it can to cling on to you. Everything. It's trying to use every person that it can to cling on to you daily. So it is your job to keep yourself pure as you can, to remove those negative entities from you, because they're trying to get in. And any way, shape, or form that they can try to get in, they're going to try to do it. So I leave that with you guys to invoke your protection, invoke, your archangels. Archangel Michael is a very powerful archangel that could help you cut those cords. It's time to get into those cutting cord ceremonies. Um, uh, your decrees, you know what I'm saying? Writing down what you want to get rid of. And on a full moon, do your burns, do your releasing ritual. And since it has something to do with your sacral chakra, you can use an orange candle to do it. Write your decrees. I decree that any sexual entity or uh, any sexual entity or dark force that has any attachment onto me, may it be may it be removed now. The cords that it has hooked onto me, may it be removed and none and void now, on any dimension, on any plane. It is a wrap. It is cut from me. It no longer has any sort of influence or control over me in any timeline, dimension, plane, or paradigm. Write it down in blue ink and burn it. And if you feel like this helps you, or you know someone else that maybe this can help, share it. But these are some of the steps I'm being told that you have to do to relinquish yourself from this thing that has been maybe attached to you and attached to bloodline and relatives for some time. Or maybe this is the entity that just that knew that you had a weakness for this because of your bloodline, and this is the way it got through this particular virus. So that's that for now. I hope this helps somebody, and until next time, kiss kiss, bang bang. Later, guys.